Good morning, friends. Today we talk about the types of gears. Classification of gears. You can see here that gears are used for power transmission between two shafts. The shafts can be either parallel to each other or the shafts may be non-parallel, that is intersecting, and non-parallel, non-intersecting. Three types of classification is given here. And position of the axis, if it is parallel shafts, we go for spur and helical gears. For parallel shafts we use spur and helical gears. Helical gears again are two types, single helical gear and double helical gear. We will see the figures after some time. When you come to intersecting shafts, that is perpendicular shafts, we go for straight bevel gears, spiral bevel gears, gyroid bevel gears, and meter bevel gears. These are the types of bevel gears we use for shafts which are intersecting. Non-parallel, non-intersecting, we have two types here. One is crossed helical gears and other one is very commonly used is worm and worm wheel. The other type of classification gears depends on how the gears engage with each other. External gears, internal gears, rack and pinion. The other way of classification is type how the gears engage with each other. External gears, internal gears, and rack and pinion. Rack is a very long straight gear of infinite radius is called rack. So gear drives, if you see here, gears are frictional wheels with teeth cut on that. You can see that here. Hello sir. Amma budget ಕಳಿಸಿದ್ದೀನಲ್ಲ ಮಗು, ನಿಮಗೂ ಕಳಿಸಲ್ಲ ಒಂದು ಮೊನ್ನೆನೇ ಕಳಿಸಿದ್ದೀನಮ್ಮ, ಸಾಟರ್ಡೆ ಕಳಿಸಿದ್ದೀನಿ ನೋಡಮ್ಮ. They are high power transmission efficiency. They are better efficient than belt drives. Transmit power for short distances. They are very compact in size. They are reliable and they are mainly used for high power transmission, and the direction if the rotation is reverse. Unlike the belt drives and chain drives, both of them will rotate in the same direction, whereas gears, they rotate in the opposite direction. And they are better efficient compared to gear drives. Here you can see that these gears are rotating in the opposite direction. Advantages and disadvantages of gear drives. Advantages are there is no slip, it is a positive drive basically. The power transmission ratio is very high, to the order of 98 to 99%, whereas belt drives vary from 60 to 80%. Constant velocity ratio, and whatever the type of gear we use, the velocity ratio is very clearly defined and standard value. They are very compact and easy to install, highly reliable. They don't fail, they don't slip, belt will not spoil. Whereas disadvantages, they generate more noise and vibration, need suitable lubrication because rubbing is taking place between the teeth and heat is generated. To remove the heat and smooth running, we need lubrication. Manufacturing cost is more. We see that our motorcycle and scooter gearboxes, we fill gear oil once in 6 months, half a liter oil, that is to run the gears very smoothly, and whatever the heat generated is taken away. Classification depends, as we have seen already, depends on the position of axis. We have classified the gears, depends on the type of gearing. We will again see that how the figures here, how the gears are engaged. This is a spur gear where the axes are parallel to each other, and here is a helical gear. The axis and the teeth are inclined to the axis. Again, this is also used for parallel axis. These two are gears used for power transmission between two parallel shafts. One is the teeth are parallel to axis is spur gear. The teeth are inclined to axis is helical gear. And this is intersecting shafts. One shaft is perpendicular to the other shaft. We go for bevel gears. These are all bevel gears example. This is internal gear. Gear is internal to each other. This is external gear, but double helical gear, also called as herringbone gear. Double helical gear is also called as herringbone gear. Then we have hypoid gears, and the special case of hypoid gear is a worm and worm wheel. Worm and worm wheel are non-parallel, non-perpendicular shafts. See here some examples of gears. Spur gears, they rotate, they act externally, rotate in the opposite direction. Helical gears also, they act externally, rotate in the opposite direction. Axes are parallel to each other. You observe that the helix angle of one gear is opposite to the other gear. Otherwise, they don't mesh. These helix angles are opposite to each other. Then comes to a bevel gear differential you have seen in the automobile, which you have studied in kinematics of machines. This is a differential mechanism which is used in automobile, where we have series of bevel gears here, set of bevel gears. Then we have a rack and a pinion. Basically, one is a straight gear, other one is a pinion. Small gear is pinion. This converts the rotary motion to linear motion or vice versa. If you connect a piston to this fellow hydraulic cylinder, the linear motion of this will be converted to rotary motion. Advantage of rack and pinion is a rotary motion converted to linear or vice versa. Then internal gears, one inside the other, both of them rotate in the same direction. Unlike the external gears, they rotate in the opposite direction. Internal gears rotate in the same direction. Finally, we have a worm and worm wheel, which is used for very high reduction ratio. To the order of 1:100 we can go in a single step. That means in the spur and helical gear maximum can be only 1:10 or 1:8, whereas in worm and worm wheel people have gone up to 1:100 in one setup. Very high reduction, which we use normally in speedometers, cranes, etc. You see the worm and worm wheel here, how it is rotating. One is like a screw here, other one is like a gear here. This is like a screw, this is like a gear. Then coming to the nomenclature, parallel shafts, we have spur gears. Spur gears, the teeth are parallel to the axis, and we have smaller gear is always called as pinion, bigger gear is called as gear. And spur gears have more noise because the engagement is sudden, whereas helical gears, the engagement is continuous. Then the more efficient than helical gears, radial force acting towards the center, tangential force at the pitch line. Helical gears you see here, they are less efficient compared to spur gears, but less noisy, more costly also. Very difficult thing here is that the gear should be of opposite helix angle, whereas spur gears, there is nothing like helix angle. Here one gear left hand helix means other gear should be right hand helix. This is a double helical gear, you can see here, half helical gear one direction, another half helical gear another direction, meshing with a different things here. These are called herringbone gears or double helical gears here. This is how the herringbone gear and double helical gear are there, how the axial loads are coming on the helical gears will give you unwanted thrust loads here, which is taken care by double helical gear. Thrust load is cancelled because opposite direction, no thrust load here. Bevel gears you have discussed earlier that they are used basically for intersecting shafts which are at some angle to each other. This is the right angle bevel gear, whereas this is less than 90 degrees angle between these two shafts A and B is less than 90. You have the smaller one is pinion, bigger one is a gear here. According to the angle between the shafts, these are called as three different names acute angle, like in mathematics we say acute angle, the shaft angle is less than 90, right angle, the shaft angle equal to 90, obtuse angle, the shaft angle is greater than 90. As the name indicates in mathematics, depending on the angle between the shafts, we define the types of bevel gears. Bevel gears again are two types, straight tooth bevel gears here. Here this is spiral bevel gears here. Unlike your spur gears where straight teeth, helical gear has got a curved teeth here. Similar to that we have straight tooth bevel gears and then spiral bevel gears. This is a spiral bevel gear here. Here you see that a name given as meter bevel gears. Two bevel gears of identical size are called meter bevel gears. Two bevel gears identical size, both are equal, the angle between them is 90 degrees. That means two identical bevel gears at 90 degrees are called as meter bevel gears. This is a meter joint is used in English. Meter is a 45 degrees joint there. These are examples of hypoid bevel gears. These are something like a spiral bevel gear, hypoid bevel gears, but the axis is not in the same axis, is parallel to each. Whereas here the spiral bevel gear axis is in the same line. Hypoid bevel gears, the axis is away from each other, eccentric. They are not concentric like this. The difference between spiral and hypoid is that the axis is shifted. And a worm wheel here is a special case of hypoid which can be used for very high reduction. This screw like thing is called worm. This is called worm gear, and this is a worm gear speed reduction unit. Worm gear speed reduction unit. Classification of gear drives depending on how they mesh with each other. External gears. This is an example of a gear pump. External gears are acting externally. Internal gears and rack and pinion. This is another way of classification of gears. Some examples of gearboxes we see. This is a lathe gearbox. We see that big gears here, helical gears, bevel gear differential here, a worm and worm wheel reduction unit. This is a lathe machine where we use gears here. Rack and pinion is used for movement of the saddle here in the lathe. When you rotate this handle, the pinion will act on this rack here. Below that lathe bed there is a rack here and it moves linearly. This is another internal planetary gears. Depending on the application, the gearboxes are designed here. Thank you very much. Okay. This is only an introduction. Then we will continue with the nomenclature of gears in the second video.